Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Not only did Mario Cristobal, the Miami Hurricanes, kick off their spring game Saturday afternoon, they also landed a massive commitment from four-star tight end Brock Schott. Now, I apologize to the Miami Hurricane fans. I like to cover commitments right when they happen, but as we were breaking down the Hurricane spring game, that's when Brock Schott committed. So we're getting to it Sunday morning. Really excited to get into this one. And when you talk about Brock Schott, got a chance to watch his film late last night. You're talking about truly a special athlete at that tight end position, and a guy that, quite frankly, a lot of other Power 5 programs were recruiting Brock Schott to play on the defensive side of the football. A guy that on defense, 32 tackles for a loss, 19 sacks during his junior year. On the offensive side of the football, 35 catches, 740 yards, 6 touchdowns. We talk about this a lot. You want to bet on these caliber athletes, right? This is a guy that, you have questions on where he's going to play. I think he can be an elite tight end, but at the very least, this is an elite athlete that is going to be good wherever you decide to play him on the football field. Want to get into the film, talk a little bit about what Brock Schott brings to this Miami Hurricanes offense. Before we do, and as always, just want to say thank you to you guys. A massive shout out to the Miami Hurricane fans. The amount of support you guys showed the spring game breakdown yesterday afternoon, it's truly amazing. Y'all know I love talking this program. The amount of support you guys show, it means the world. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into Brock Schott. And I think where you want to start with Brock Schott is first one, we talked about being a phenomenal athlete, but more importantly, I think he really balances out Luka Gilbert in terms of you bring in Luka Gilbert, 6'7", 245 plus pounds, as more of that inline blocker. He is a dominant blocker when you watch the film. Brock Schott, not necessarily saying that he can't block, but he's a guy that you see him play kind of wide receiver a lot at the high school level, and you just see the dynamic ability that he has to be a pass catcher that is really, really big, but such a smooth mover. And as you get more weight on Brock Schott, get him up to 240 pounds, maintain the athleticism, the body control, the movement skills that he has. I mean, you're looking at a very exciting tight end prospect over the next couple of years. And that's a position that the Miami Hurricane fans know. We've been talking about it a lot in the comment section. Got to get more production from that spot. You look at what Miami's doing with the offensive line, how this run game is going to be. One, you're going to want to play with some 12 personnel. You're going to want weapons at tight end positions. But more importantly, I think this Miami Hurricanes offense is really ripe for an elite tight end that can be a difference maker. And we haven't really seen that from the Hurricanes, especially in that 2023 year. I think Mario Cristobal has seen that, and I think he's really going after some tight ends that can be difference makers. And I think you're getting really excited about the young talent that's coming into that room, right? Riley Williams going into year 2, Elijah Lofton, got guys like Brock Schott and Luka Gilbert. You feel good about where Miami's going with this tight end room, and it's nice to see Mario Cristobal look at that position room and say, hey, we got to address it with some talent. He's doing just that on the recruiting trail. Now, I want to get into the film of Brock Schott a little bit. Talk about what makes him special. A lot of times you just see him line up as a jumbo wide receiver. Love what he can do working vertically down the field. I think that's the first thing you want to talk about. This is a big body that defensive backs really struggle to put hands on. And then a guy that when you want to put him on a bigger defensive back, he's going to run right by him. He is extremely fast, a great mover. You see what he can do after the catch here. You get a little hook and ladder action right now. Brock Schott flies. That is extremely, extremely impressive speed from a guy like Brock Schott. I am really excited about just the blend of size and athleticism that Brock Schott brings to the table. You see the ability, creating separation down the field. An underthrown ball has to come back and track it. You see the big physicality at the catch point, obviously what he can do after the catch. Super smooth mover. And that's something you look for that tight end position. It's hard to find those big bodies that are also smooth and know how to separate. Brock Schott, one of those guys, again, very, very good after the catch, just really a load to bring down, and he has some absolute burners to him as well. I'm really impressed with what Brock Schott brings to this Miami Hurricanes offense, and a guy that I really do think, if you see him get it done with blocking a little bit, we had some questions there. He answers those questions right there. I think he can be a real weapon for this Miami Hurricanes offense. And you take a look at what Miami's doing in 2025. One, we talked about it, dominating the Midwest, right? Brock Schott, Luka Gilbert, both coming from the Midwest, going up to Big Ten territory, taking their top prospects. You look at guys like Justin Scott, like Marquise Lightfoot. Miami is not only recruiting the state of Florida, they are going everywhere and grabbing talent. But you look at what this Hurricanes program has coming in 2025, two really dynamic tight ends that do different things. You have an absolute burner at the running back position in Gerard Pringle Jr. coming from the state of Florida. And then you see where Miami's trending for these top prospects. It's easy for Miami fans to get negative about having a top 15 class in the country early April. We all have seen this story before. We know the Miami Hurricanes, they closed late in the recruiting process. That's fully what I expect for this Hurricanes program to do in the 2025 class. But Brock Schott, really, really hyper athletic tight end that balances out what Luka Gilbert does really well. Excited about this kid. Appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas. Again, if y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later.